of ShoWTimE versus Reynor. Gonna keep this moving quickly, keep the players active. We're just gonna throw those breaks in between the series. And let's go in game. But just before we do actually introduce our players, Dark Ones with the cheer 300 in the chat says, well, that's $550 towards the stream tonight. Someone else needs to take out the Bit Boss. Thank you so much, Dark Ones, for the cheer 300. Can you give us a round of Wardy Hearts for Dark Ones and all of his cheers today? Thank you so much. Are you close to the next Bit Badge, Dark Ones? I feel like you are. Flippin' Papa Mitch used to be our green Bit Badge dude, and now we don't have a green Bit Badge dude because he went and cheered a bunch again. So, I was wondering how close you are, because I remember you the first with orange. The orange one's kind of cool though, the orange Bit Badge. What's your favorite color? I think I think the orange one is one of my favorite. Although actually, Papa the cheer 100,000 one, the crazy one is crazy. It's actually pretty sick. It's insane. Alright guys, let's go into game number 1 of this best of 3. To the bottom right hand side, our blue Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE. And he is going up against the red Zerg to the upper left hand side from Prophecy Esports. It is Reynor. Obviously ShoWTimE representing Armor Team. His team deserves a shout out as well. As you just get set up, looking to see what's going to happen, and all the rest of it. Guys, please keep chat in English, or you'll be purged. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, who are we cheering on, guys? You can hashtag ShoWTimE, you can hashtag Reynor, just as we're doing for you, Thermal. And Guru in the last series. Get those hashtags coming in. Let's see who you guys are supporting. Let's see who you guys want to see taking this here today. Probe from ShoWTimE moves out onto the map. Starting to see what's happening. Starting to see what's going on. He already picked up the information and kind of blocked the natural for a little bit, forcing this base over here initially. And here comes the first Adept. Actually kind of annoying, forcing this hatch over here. Queen just pops out. I guess it's not the end of the world. The thing is, with one Adept, you don't really want to commit properly, because you know, if you have a second Adept coming, it works much better with 2 than as 1. But there is not a second Adept. It's actually a Stalker that comes in from ShoWTimE. And he's just going to start positioning this, trying to nice scout. And his tech choice, the resonating glaives off of the Twilight Council. And if these overlords are just going to stay to the left and to the north, well, they probably will not be able to scout this very easily. Especially if there's going to be a Stalker in position to push this overlord away. ShoWTimE is going to be able to keep that somewhat hidden. A couple more gates to the side. That is something which Reynor will see, but doesn't obviously look too weird. And 2 extra gates could be a full 4 of builds right now. He doesn't know if there's a 4th gate in the main as well. And it's just going to be seeing those lings moving around from Reynor just out the front. Just waiting to see if he can pick up any information here early. Chrono boost on probes. ShoWTimE really just focusing on economy in the early stages of this. And again, no real scout for Reynor so far. You can see that ShoWTimE Eco already taking quite the boost early on. Let's just have that little boost early on, especially nowadays with the Corona boost. They actually take the Eco lead against Zergs oftentimes. And well, as these gates morph in, we're going to be seeing 3 more Adepts warp. And look at this follow-up. Look at this follow-up. Double Stargate. So ShoWTimE going to follow this up with what I imagine will be Phoenix. You could shock Assault and go Oracles, but I guess we'll see just how this goes in the next few moments. As Adepts coming up the center of the map, looking to see what might happen. And now we do see a few Zerglings here from Reynor. Going to be moving around as well to try and do a little bit more. Again, there go those Adepts through. And they are going to start picking their way against. Well, 1 Queen goes down instantly. The 2nd Queen in a little bit of trouble as well. And actually, ShoWTimE commits to the Adept shade in towards the ramp. So he gets here, picks up a few Zerglings already, and now a drone or so going down as well. He's actually doing very good damage. He hasn't lost an Adept yet. He will lose one now as those Lings run in. But he cancels the shade again to stick near this Queen. Doing a little bit more damage. Will fight once again, I guess, as Lings come in to start trying to surround. Obviously can't surround if they keep dying, though. And ShoWTimE will lose, well, 1 more Adept, but still shades out towards the 3rd base. And just so much value being found in these early stages as ShoWTimE. 4 Adepts out of 6 remain alive. And look at the damage dealt. 4 workers, but absolute chaos. Workers transferring between bases, oversaturation, lings having to be made to actually survive. This was not a pretty scenario at all here for Reynor, and look at ShoWTimE's eco boost from this situation. Really nicely done. Really nicely done here. Now as we're going to see, those lanes going to get set to maybe run in towards the third, but Adepts are in position to defend this. With the Adepts in position, it's difficult to imagine those lanes will be able to do much at all. Couple of shield batteries on the way up for ShoWTimE. And we are going to be seeing those Zerglings coming back up and through the center, coming up to the top side. See what else they can do. A Lurker Den will drop down for Reynor on the third base. This is the right-hand side. Well, there's the Phoenix. We mentioned the double Stargate earlier, and now it is in play. 6 Phoenix coming over to the right, picking off that Overlord, and going to come up to the top side to just do a little bit more damage. 2 Robo Facilities on the way up for ShoWTimE. Wow, this was like the build when you started playing Legacy of the Void. Some sort of like glaive attack into double Stargate, into double Robo for like double Immortal production. ShoWTimE bringing it back here as we're going to be seeing 3-4 Hydras going down. Some nice damage done, and we're going to be seeing a little bit of picking away at an Overlord there at the front. As Lings try and run by at the front of ShoWTimE's base, well, he is just so well defended. The only weakness is that he's trying to get some ropes to the third, and so he loses a couple of workers in that regard. As we're going to be seeing, well, there's a Hydra massacre right now on Reynor's side of the map. It isn't pretty for him, as we're going to see Overlords going down too. There isn't even +1 air weapons. These Phoenix are just killing everything anyways. So now a couple more Hydras getting lifted, another one as well as ShoWTimE takes his leave. 2 Adepts and 2 probes have been lost for 3,400 resources of Zerg. I mean, if that isn't one-sided, I do not know what is. Absolutely crazy damage being done here so far. Now the Lurker Den drops in on the third base, so Reynor going to be finishing that up and obviously gets himself the next range attack. But, I mean, against Lurkers, this used to be the build as well, because Lurkers were very popular back when this build was a thing. And the reason was the initial Phoenix actually were super awesome, because they would do this, they would harass, but in a fight the Phoenix could come in and lift up the Lurkers to stop them from being burrowed and to take them out of the fight for a few seconds. And then you have the double Robo, so you can produce lots of Immortals, which are obviously also very good at dealing with Lurkers. And so it was a really cool combination, and it was a really kind of thought out way of playing from one thing to the next. It was very interesting indeed to see a couple of Adepts here just hitting on some of those Zerglings and pushing them back, pushing them away up through the top side of the map. Ah, poor Zealot is actually going to get killed there, caught by the rocks as they get knocked down. Slightly unfortunate for him, as we do see again some more Phoenix to the right-hand side, moving around, seeing what they can get up to. So Phoenix up the right, as we do see Zealots, Adepts, and Mortals. Going to move back over to the left. A lot of Hydras here actually for Reynor, I have to say. A lot of Hydras here from Reynor. There's a couple Lurkers starting to morph in. The issue is ShoWTimE's army is just going to be so good against what Reynor has very soon. So many Immortals on the way up. The Phoenix as well, which can get involved at any moment. He also has Storm. Those High Templar are building up energy. How many of them right now? 4? It's not tons of them, but you know, 4 High Templar have 2 Storms each. That's 8 Storms. It's a lot of zone control, essentially, which ShoWTimE will find himself with here as he moves a little bit over to the left-hand side. Phoenix are looking for a few of those Zerglings, as we will see Lurkers from Reynor just burrowing down in towards the center of the map. More Hydras coming back around through the top side here, and again, Phoenix of ShoWTimE coming up the left as well. +2 attack on the Forge. Continue to come on in as well. Some drones starting to fall here. So a few drones being picked away at. We're going to see a Hydra as well. I mean, these Phoenix just being annoying once again. I dare not look back at resources lost. 4.5 to 1.3 is a little bit better, I suppose. But it is kind of crazy. Only 3 Phoenix lost. 3 Phoenix, 2 Adepts, 2 Zealots, 2 Probes. Man, goddamn you, ShoWTimE. Losing that 3rd Phoenix, it ruined the perfect set of 2s. Quad 2s on the bottom it would have been. Typical. Ruining it. Well, here we go. ShoWTimE coming up the left-hand side. It's Immortals, it's High Templar. It's an Archon included as well. And it's really just going to be a very powerful push in. And, well, where are those Phoenixes? The one thing I would say, make sure you do have a way to maybe lift up a few of these Lurkers. Maybe a Warp Prism as well, just to warp in a few more Zealots, although there's already reinforced Zealots on the bottom left-hand side. 1 or 2 Hydras getting picked off, and we are going to be seeing the... seeing what else is happening. Zealot's going to go back and pick off these rocks. Again, a few more lings moving down towards the south side of Phoenix. Gonna start lifting a couple of these lurkers up, and there's the first storm. Don't like this position at all for ShoWTimE as he loses the observer. There's another one to the left, but Reynor very nicely targets that down. Picking off the observers in this scenario is a huge deal. And we've seen these Hydras continuing to try and push through this position. There's the Oracle. I love the introduction of the Oracle because it's just such a better way to consistently have detection against those lurkers throughout a fight. It will work out way better than if this was something like a observer, because we just saw how easy it is to pick those observers off. Well, you can't just kill the revelation now that it's down. The best you can do is stop yourself getting revelated initially, which can maybe just delay the pros from ever taking a fight, but you're not going to be able to stop the detection mid-fight is what I'm trying to say. There's a couple of lurkers which aren't actually well, there's one here which isn't actually detected, which is actually a little bit of an issue, because otherwise I think ShoWTimE would have pushed through already. Some Hydra's going to counter-attack. I mean, some Zealots will warp in and try and fight it, but some of them just going down so fast already before you can even get back here. Now the Phoenix will lift up a few of those Hydras, and okay, it's a pretty easy cleanup at the end of the day. ShoWTimE picks those off, and well, it almost feels like a bit of a waste from Reynor. Really didn't find enough of this. Another revelation coming down. As you do see a few Hydras pulling over to the right-hand side. Just don't see a way in which Reynor suddenly wins this fight unless, like, lurkers go massively unseen and ShoWTimE really messes up the way he fights it. I mean, it just feels as though he has enough to push on through and the correct composition as well. And the best thing for ShoWTimE, it's only getting better for him. A couple of carriers being added into play. That mothership on the way out as well, being Corona boosted away here. And as that mothership finishes up, obviously it just, again, gets better and better. A couple shield batteries will hit up on the 5th base, and it's another thing as well. ShoWTimE has just been expanding relentlessly here. Has not been slowing down at all in that regard. It's just been going. Which is obviously very nice for him too. Just lots of bases to mine from. No real concerns, as we do see a few Hydras are going to waddle their way down this right-hand side. A few Zerglings will join up together as well. And again, Lings and Hydras to the left here from Reynor. Just picking off a unit as ShoWTimE just trying to scout around, see what's up. These rocks will go down, opening up access towards the natural of ShoWTimE, sorry, but I don't think immediately it's a massive concern. First carrier on the map could probably just turn and fight this, and actually it will turn and fight this, and he's actually going to wait a moment or two, but it will keep ShoWTimE back, actually. ShoWTimE pulls back a little bit towards this army just to realize, like, hey, okay, well, you know, you do have units there, I guess I should make sure I can defend. He still keeps his main army in the center. The carrier is going to be joined together to play, and a few Immortals do come back in general. Now, here we go. This army pushing forwards again. There is an observer in it, so again, doesn't need the revelation immediately here. Nice storms on the left-hand side. Wow. Sometimes you know when you see that rain falling on one side of the road and not the other. That was this. All the storms on the left, nothing on the right. As we're going to be seeing, well, lurkers just disappearing. More Immortals come across the map. That Hydra counterattack is not doing anything. And ShoWTimE will take game number 1 in fairly convincing fashion. To the bottom left-hand side is going to be our Blue Protoss player who took that first game rather convincingly. He could be the first player to qualify for the WardiTV Christmas Invitational. It is ShoWTimE. And to the upper right, our Red Zerg player from Team Prophecy. Give it up for Reynor. Pro gonna come on through the center, head towards the upper right, see what's gonna happen. Just some early scouting, just wants to, well, potentially block the natural. Just to, yeah, I mean, he just wants to try and be a little bit annoying. And again, see, it's not 12 build, something is a big thing as well. And Blackpink, you do not actually get here in time to block the natural with the pylon scout. So he does not manage to block it. Something I realized a lot back at WSG, that probe just doesn't arrive if you're pylon scouting in time to really block that there, so. Look at this. Probe of ShoWTimE is so annoying, just consistently starting and stopping to mine. Just trying to push workers away from mineral patches and force them to go elsewhere and back and forth, and I mean, it's super annoying. ShoWTimE doesn't have anything really better to do with his APM at this stage of the game, so makes a lot of sense. He's disrupted it so much here, there isn't even a drone mine on it now, and look at that. Pushes another drone away. And these are the close mineral patches as well, and we don't talk about this so much with the 12 worker start, but Generally, you do want to stack your workers on close mineral patches first, because they're closer. The workers don't have to go so far to mine, so it is slightly better income. You see here, ShoWTimE, I mean, okay, this isn't going to be a good example because he has 16 workers out. But initially, he would generally be kind of focusing on kind of getting his own workers set up and stacking. And this probe is still here, 2 minutes in game, and it's still trying to block workers, stop them from doing what they want to do, pushing them from one set of minerals to the other. Look at them. These drones, look at that one. It just went from here to there to there. I mean, that's half a mineral mine time. It adds up. ShoWTimE finally actually mines some minerals, stealing those 5 minerals from his opponent's main base. You never know when it will count. That probe, its prize for being such a good probe across the map and doing so much damage. It's going to get to pull away, checks the third, isn't there just yet. He's not done apparently, he's just going to sit out front and see what's next. Twilight Council starts up in the main base. It's Twilight on the way, and again, I guess maybe the Glaives may just play the same build order, honestly. I mean, it went so well in game number 1. He might just go all over again, and well, probe again, just trying to see if the third hatch is coming down. He'll come in now, he's safe because the Adept will protect him. And so those couple of Lings have to back away up into the natural. Queen from Reynor just poking at the Adept as well, a little bit. Some bits and pieces. Robo facility dropping down as well here for ShoWTimE. So it's just going to be Twilight into Robo. So he just changed up the build order. Twilight into Robo oftentimes tending to be for that Dark Shrine, that Archon drop, and there it is. The Dark Shrine starts to drop into play, so going in towards those Archon drops early. Now, Newtized Carapace from Reynor, he's also going to go Evolution Chamber, so a little bit of a difference from that last game as well. A faster Evo, the Pneumatized as well, something he really didn't get in that last game early on. We've seen that Evo finishing up, and again, drones is mining away on this extractor. Some more of these drones on the mineral patches as well. Just doing their jobs, doing their duty. Possibly one of the most useless things I say in my cast sometimes to fill time. That workers are actually just mining. Yes, believe it or not. But there is only one gas here, which I guess is one more thing to mention, so not taking that second gas yet. We'll see when he wants to go for that with the melee upgrade coming through. Looking to play probably a Ling Bane focus style early. We'll see how it goes continuing on, as we do see this War Prism going to start moving across. We'll come over to the right hand side and see what he can get up to. This hatchery on the third base is starting to build on up. A Queen starts up, the Spore Crawler's on the way, and this other Queen comes over just to inject onto the hatchery and to get that going. This War Prism from ShoWTimE as well, again seeing what's up. Actually going to see a few Dark Templar going to be warping in and going to be picking their way through a couple of those Zerglings. Well, there is a Spore Crawler in position, so Reynor not going to make the mistake he made, which kind of got him eliminated from WSG, which was that he, I feel as though ShoWTimE might have been able to kill that Spore Crawler there. But, again, Reynor back at WSG. Game 2 against Rail was one of his first, it was his first series of the day. In Game 2, he just didn't build a Spore on his third base against the Scouted Dark Shrine. Lost the third hatchery, lost the game. Obviously just not something that should really happen, and losing that game up was actually in the end kind of, ended up really hurting him as ShoWTimE with a little bit of lag here. I was complaining on Twitter a little bit that he's been having a lot of lag issues the last few days. A lot of concerns, just at random, since the patch. Alright, so a couple of moments here. Sorry, just tapped out to see a funny tweet on the Twitters by Fear Dragon, talking with Nurture. We're going to be casting more Corsair Cup tomorrow, guys. I actually think we've just got information as to what we're going to be casting. ShoWTimE going to ask if they're ready, and we'll just count down to resume this. But yeah, just got information on what we're going to be casting. We're going to be casting Keen Visitor live to start things off, then the losers match, then the decider in Group C, then Group D we're going to cast Snoot versus Hellraiser, then the winners match, and then the decider as well. So that's going to be tomorrow, action from the Corsair Cup. Looking forward to that. Again, Ling is moving around here, looking to see what they can do, as we do see a couple of Archons in this War Prism moving up the right hand side. Lair will be finishing shortly, and As that layer finishes, the +1 melee is going to be finishing too. Just options being created here. We might just see I guess an instant Hydra Den. We see a roach rolling down, and he is making some roaches, but intrigued to see what really comes out the lair. ShoWTimE, a lot of zealots in that main base. I was just looking to see how many gates he had for a moment, wondering if I'd missed something. Meanwhile, Archons are in action on the third base. Now they jump to the natural, where, the War Prism is actually just making more zealots, and right now, oh my god, 11 workers killed. The War Prism, the first one, is under fire, but it is going to get away, and zealots are still going huge. Some Archons fighting against roaches as well. I think ShoWTimE might have just won the game from this Zealot Archon attack out of nowhere. 2 Archons still survive, and the Zealots going to be left to do their thing, as we're going to see another Warping in the main. More Zealots to back this up, and well, already you can see the worker counts falling apart here. 32 drones to 50 probes. Crazy stuff. Those Archons going to fight away on that lair. Some more Zealots going to run on over, take away a few of those Zerglings, and we are going to see these Queens maybe under fire. A few more of them getting picked away at. We're going to start going down. So Queens continue to drop. I mean, realistically, these Archons have just done so much. 25 and 18 kills, 25 and 20, as ShoWTimE will just win this game number 2. Well, just want to double check here quickly. Just what was the resources lost? Okay, 4K to 2K. ShoWTimE just has